we're cruising out here in Waikiki, and I snagged Todd Bradley. Saw him out in the water. I wanted to make sure that I learned the proper paddle stroke technique, because I've been doing this for, a few years now, and I'm getting input from everybody under the sun. But Todd showed me something the other day that made a huge difference in my downwind time, so I wanted him to explain that to everybody else at the same time. And, Todd's had 50, he told me 50 Molokai crossings in one-man, six-man, and he's been the coach of big-time dudes like Corell Jr. and so on. So, anyways, the guy, for his experience, should be like 150 years old. But let's see what he looks like here, because he looks a little bit younger than that. So the thing I want to see is the dynamics of a proper stroke. I was told before, keep my top arm straight and then pull with my bottom arm, but you showed me that other day that was wrong. So maybe you can explain that.
Yeah, let's go the paddle mechanics real quick. The paddle is basically a lever. Man's #1 tool that helped him in the primal ages is the lever, right? So what we have the benefit of is having a longer paddle than I did as an outrigger paddle. We have a larger lever. That means we have a larger fulcrum point to work off of. So with this being looked at mechanically, and this is a fulcrum point, right? So you know that by utilizing this end of it, you can generate a lot of power and force off the other end. So we want to use this paddle for that as a tool that way. So
if you paddle wrong, you're saying the lever works against you.
Here would be the way that the lever's not working. If you're paddling with your bottom arm like this is not working with the fulcrum of a stroke. This is not, pulling it like this. We're not using it as a lever. It's just pulling straight through. But if we use it as a lever on a fulcrum, then this bottom hand stays the same and this top hand drives, okay? So it's less fatigue on your body. You can last longer. You're using it as a proper tool. So, I don't think it's any new news to anybody. You use the right tool for the right job and use it properly. It's much easier. And it's all about technique. Swimmers, bikers, you name it. They all know that technique is the most important tool to use when you're using your tools of your trade. So the proper technique would be basically consider this your fulcrum. Your bottom arm pretty much stays. It doesn't have to be a rock solid bar, but you want it to continue to be a fulcrum that everything works off of, right? So this paddle's a little long for me.
You want this one?
Yeah, let me switch paddle.
Okay. The other question I got is your left arm. You got to keep it so your bottom arm stays straight, right? Your elbow is straight.
Stays not as necessarily straight. I usually break it just a little bit. It just doesn't pull.
Doesn't pull.
Okay. What happens is the stroke happens off of your opposite foot from your top arm and generates force through your torso all the way up to your top arm, but it starts with your top arm. So you can see what we want to do is we want to twist. We drop, the bottom arm stays stable, the top arm drives, and then you can finish out like this.
So are you pulling it all with that bottom arm or what? Or no?
I'm pulling with the bottom arm, but it's coming off of my shoulder and back. See what's happening here? See, my bottom arm is staying straight. It's not bending at all. I know it's hard because I keep paddling away, but what I'm doing is I'm doing this. Let me choke up here.
Okay.
So you see what's happening is I'm twisting, I'm using my torso, I'm driving the top arm, and then I'm bringing the torso with the twist. This is the same stroke we use in an outrigger canoe and a one-man canoe. Okay, it's just like this.
So somebody was telling me that, when your top arm breaks, it kind of breaks and it comes around like this, then that's how you get shoulder problems.
Top arm breaks.
Or kind of like, I got to show them. So when so your top arm came like this, and then it comes out like this.
Well, that's because what's happening is guys are keeping their top arm straight like that. And you see, this is what they're doing. They're just railroad hacking at it. And the other thing is, can you see, if I keep this top arm straight when I take a stroke, you see where the blade enters the water? It's entering right here, at the back of the stroke. and you're not using the paddle has a dihedral in it to be able to catch the water on the front and force the water down to lift the hull up. And if we're having a straight top arm like this, look where the paddle hits the water. Okay? If we start the stroke with a bent top arm or a drive off the top arm, look where the paddle hits the water. Right here. Get a longer stroke.
Where's the optimal place for the blade to enter the water, and where do you want it to exit?
The optimal place where you want to enter the water is right. Look where it's entering the water. Right in here. Okay? See? My body's twisted. My top arm's bent. And I'm driving I start the stroke out with the catch and driving off the top arm, and then I'm bringing it through and I'm releasing right after the foot.
So you're doing a really long stroke.
Right there, right.
Huh?
That would be a long, deep power stroke, right? Where I'm putting a lot of twist into it, I'm driving, I'm pulling through, and I'm out.
But you don't always use that.